When you think teardrop trailers, you think aerodynamic, you think lightweight, you also think cute as a button. Now, New Camp has been producing some of the better built teardrop trailers in the industry. Based out of Sugar Creek, Ohio, they've had ones as small as their Tag all the way up to their Tab 400. Now the Tab 360 has come in recently with an interior kitchen, and this, the Tab 360 CS or clamshell, has now entered the market. This is the 2026 Tab 360 CS or clamshell with the kitchen in the back. Let's take a look and see how I fit in it as a 6'5" person and how this space is laid out. Absolutely phenomenal for the solo camper or those going as a couple. So New Camp actually is a very interesting manufacturer, as they are still a smaller manufacturer. They're not publicly traded. So a lot of the design and thinking behind this is something that they haven't had to be beholden to stakeholders. They've really been able to listen to the customers and take note of what they like and what they don't like in their teardrop trailers. Now, starting from the exterior, some of the standard features on here are going to be the acrylic dual pane windows with argon gas inside, which does give you a much better insulation factor on these big panoramic view windows. The sidewalls are going to be Azdel siding, so you do have no wood in there whatsoever. So it's Azdel, aluminum frame, foam composite insulation. So you've got great insulation factor all throughout, and something that's going to hold up for the test of time. This one is actually set up as the Boondock Black Canyon package. If you were to order it and not mark anything on the order sheet, it would come as a standard Boondock package, which does give you the larger tires and axle, the hardy grip handle, the step platform, and also the larger container up front. So as we come around to the front, you'll notice some of the diamond plating down below. Now, a lot of trailers will have this protective sheeting down below. You can see it's continued onto the trailer itself. This is for any of those rocks or debris that might get kicked up from your vehicle. So that's hitting that, and that's taking the brunt of the force. This is going to be a locking storage box up front, because this will contain a lithium battery internally for you to be able to power your systems. So that gives you plenty of space up front to be able to store any of your gear, firewood, sleeping bags. If you're out maybe riding dirt bikes or something, you can throw in your dirty, smelly gear in there and keep it from stinking up the rest of your trailer. Your propane does sit here. It is going to be a single tank. Now you're asking yourself, yes, this is a locking compartment, but there is an access hatch right around to the side, which is not locking, which is an easy shut off for your propane. It's going to be a 2-inch ball receiver up front, a regular crank handle, and then you have a fully enclosed circular frame for the tongue itself. These grab handles are meant to move it around, but this being 3,100 pounds dry, you really want it to be a very flat, very smooth space, and probably have a couple of people helping you out. Now you can notice it's a little bit asymmetric on the front of here where this star view window is placed. This again is going to be a dual pane acrylic window that does give it the ability to have that nice curve. If you were to brush up against any branches or anything like that on these acrylic windows, the nice thing about this versus glass is, yeah, you can scratch it up all you want and then you can buff it out, versus if you scratch up a glass window, it's going to be really difficult to get those scratches out. Up top, it's two 190-watt solar panels on the Black Canyon series. That gives you a ton of solar power to be able to power a lot of the systems that are inside. Let's take a look on the back end to see where this kitchen is and how much fun it's going to be to use it outside. All right, from the back, before we open this up, this is actually going to be the entire space that's going to open up, which is really nice. It's just about my head height, but you can see as that curve pops up, you'll see how much head height I get as a 6'5" individual. You can see that on the back here, you have that beautiful stargazer window. You'll see on the inside how much that opens up, so you'd be able to see the stars at night. And then those 190-watt solar panels just go almost the entire way over that arc of the roof. And that arc helps you. If you place the trailer right, you can track the sun on there to be able to get the most out of those solar panels. Running lights up top, and then this nice railing that does feed off the water to either side, so you're not getting it collecting or going into that seam up top. So let's pop this open. One last thing, They actually put on a 1-inch hitch receiver on here, so you can put a smaller bike rack on. I believe the tow capacity of it is 150, or the capacity of that hitch. You wouldn't really want to tow anything with it, just more of a bike rack attachment. A lot of people talk about backup cameras. Backup cameras are always great to have. It helps mitigate the stress of being able to back this thing up, because it is going to be a little bit larger of a teardrop trailer. What we recommend mainly is just getting a nice license plate one that you can fit right here. You don't have to drill anything in, and usually links up to either your phone, or if you do have a more advanced vehicle, you might be able to link it to your actual screen in your vehicle. So let's pop this bad boy up and see what is inside. So it's easy. I pulled it up with one hand. It's not too bad. It's supported by these gas struts, so that's going to hold it up overhead. You can tell at 6'5", I definitely have a lot of room to work here. On this itself, you do have a higher raised area to fit this cooler under. Now this is a 12-volt cooler, so it gives you a lot more space, or a lot more versatility to be able to use it. It is going to be fairly deep and give you a great amount of storage area for cold foods, but also cool down easily and stay cold while you're on the road. Also, you can pull it out and move it around if you wanted to bring it out to your campsite or a picnic table. It's easy to move in and out. Starting on the right hand side here, the passenger side, we've got two 110 outlets, USB 3, USB, and a 12-volt circular plug. Up top, it's nicely laid out with spice racks. When this is closed, that helps sandwich a lot of those in so they're not bouncing around. Coming over to this side, you do have a 2-burner stove with a little bit of prep space that's the same height, and then your nice sink down here. Below is your main storage area for anything that you want easily accessible. So large open space underneath the sink. And then beneath the stove, that's probably going to be more of your pots and pans, maybe some dishes in there, larger items. And then smaller items, maybe spatulas, utensils, things like that in there. If you notice on here, this is all solid wood. This is going to be very heavy cabinetry. Even the base of it is probably the most solid I've seen in the industry. A lot of it, if you just pushed on that, it would flex and bow, and you'd feel a little bit not confident in putting your heavier items in there. But this really thought out in terms of using it for a long extended period of time to be able to hold up well. Nice light overhead to be able to use that at darker hours. Just a really clean setup. Nice backsplash on there just to tie it all together. I think they did a great job on the rear kitchen of this particular trailer. So let's jump on the inside and see what space is given to what was the kitchen on the inside and now what is actually there instead. So let's jump inside and take a look. All right, so even upon entry, you're gonna notice that New Camps builds things a little bit differently, and I think honestly in a good way. Their doors are gonna be more of what would look like an airline door, where it's utilized quite a bit. There's pocket spaces up top. A lot of people use this, end up using it for a trash can right here on the door, so you can just open it up, pull it out, take it out. This is gonna have a nice screen, blackout screen for you on there. And then you do have your fire extinguisher section right here. Now you notice, where the heck is the screen? If I want to air out this trailer a lot and just have the door open and the bug screen on, usually you have that thing slapping around in the wind, popping off your door, getting really annoying on a traditional trailer. Now on New Camps, it's just nicely tucked away in the door frame. Pull it out, and now you've got a nice bug screen. So now what you've been waiting for, let's check out inside. So as I step in here, this is going to be subjectively one of the more beautiful interiors of a travel trailer on the market. What we have here is actually an interior wet bath, which is fantastic for a trailer only 18 feet in length. This is outfitted with a 25-gallon freshwater tank, so that gives you ample amount to be able to take a nice shower while you're boondocking. Now the shower itself is you're gonna be able to see this a little bit better. It is a wet bath, and then you have a sink that doubles as your shower head. You can get all of that wet. It's not a problem to be able to get yourself clean and do your business. It's nicely secluded in there as well. You pull up on the door handle to be able to lock it and close that door, which makes it nice and secure, especially while you're traveling. Now, if I open up a little bit, this is where the kitchen used to be. And we'll come around a little bit more so you can see all of the amenities up on this side. Now, this right here is that front window that I was talking about. This is an amazing view if you're at any campsite. If you move that truck out of the way or the car out of the way, you can point this any direction you want and it's gonna look fabulous. On the windows themselves, these open up quite a bit. There's plenty of latches on here to get that nice seal. And then it also does lock, but that will open quite far to be able to get some airflow through. Now on this section itself, this is where that interior storage really shines. This is where the kitchen traditionally was on these 360s. Now it's going to be a big platform here to put anything that you'd like, to a little workspace, but underneath plenty of deep cabinet space for anything that you might need. Well thought out storage wise. You do have that little cooler out back, but you do also have this larger 12-volt fridge on the interior. This is going to be almost, let's say it's about 5 feet tall, and it's going to be pretty well laid out in terms of a little freezer up top, big enough to fit at least a pint of ice cream in, and then you've got plenty of space down below for longer term travel. This is going to run off the solar panels going into lithium battery, or if you're running a converter off your shore power or running off of your connection to your car while you're traveling. Above that, plenty more storage space up there. These hinges, everything really solidly built, so that's not going to be falling on your head. You're not going to be having to hold it up. It is just well thought out. Let's flip around and see what the sleeping and eating arrangements are on the inside of this trailer. So this is a better look on the inside. If I'm standing straight up, I'm 6'5", that's going to be the head height that I get at the top of this trailer. Now, because this is a teardrop trailer, obviously when you get closer to the front or closer to the rear, you are going to have less head height interior. Now, this is how it's laid out. This is going to be your permanent bed space. It's a nice long bed. Now, again, being 6'5", if I were to lay in here, got plenty of room to lay, take a nap, anything like that. This is going to be your dinette. Plenty of room for one person on one side, maybe two smaller people on the other. And this actually will fold down pretty nicely into a bed as well. About the same size as what you have on this side. In the rear, again, great storage space. I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing is going to be storage. Storage on a teardrop trailer, which normally you don't get that much of. So top is going to be great. You got a little bit railing on here, so if you don't want things falling off, I generally tuck those away. And then down below, there's a lot of storage down here as well. So above your fuse panel, you do have a little bit of a nightstand with a storage compartment here. Now, New Camp, again, different in thinking. They have a heat system that is a oil-based heat system, or they use a glycol that is more of a radiant heat. So it's going to be a drier heat, and it's going to be a more consistent heat that works really, really well. And it's also less of a burden on your systems. So we can take a look really quick at how to fold this down. It's a pretty simple process. I think they did a good job with how they thought out how to put the table down as well as the backs of these. Now, what I do generally is going to be to put the table down first. So I'll take the leg, push that little tab up, flip it up. It'll lock into place like that because it's going to rest on there. And then on the back, you're going to have these two tabs that you have to push to unlock. Shimmy it under the cushions, and then you'll hear it click into place right there. From there, you'll take the backrest, pull this up, take the backrest, you'll pull it all the way forward. You'll hear that click, that final click, and then it'll go back. Now the little cushions are going to be kind of scattered around the camper, so you're going to have to find those. Some are actually behind the camera here. So that gives you all the space that you need to lay down. Easy to make, easy to enjoy if it's you or a passenger that wants to do that. So since we got this down, let's take a look at some of the storage on the back end here. So again, you have the USB 3 and USB outlets right here as your nightstand. You've got a nice little organization to put any of your knickknacks in here. And then this right here up on the cubby is gonna be these slits that will help radiate the heat. So that is gonna be almost right by your head if you want, while you're trying to heat up the trailer. This is going to be the stationary bed, but if you lift it up, there is a huge compartment down here for additional storage. Again, storage, they've really done a great job of hiding it, but also if it's in view, making it really elegant. Up top, you do have your 12-volt TV, and then again, another storage compartment down below. And one thing that New Camp has been doing on all of their travel trailers is their windows. So if you pull up, it's going to be a blackout curtain. If you pull down, it's going to be a bug screen, and you can also clip it together to be half and half if you wanted to cut out a little bit of that sun but still have the breeze coming through. And lastly, in this corner, those cushions that we're using to complete the bed, those set up nicely right here for a little backrest. So if you did have friends over that wanted to hang out, you've got a nice lounging spot right here to be able to take advantage. This has been the Tab 360 CS from New Camp, the 2026 model, brand new. It is a fantastic trailer for couples, maybe a solo camper, to really enjoy the outdoors, both inside and out. If you are interested in any New Camp trailer or finding this one in particular, we do have the pricing and availability linked below, and feel free to reach out to us for any questions on being able to tow this or how your vehicle may handle any of our trailers on the lot. Make sure you subscribe so you see any more of these trailer walkthroughs, and we'll see you in the next one.